Hey everybody, thank you for pressing play. In this video we're going to have a real good look around this particular car here. This is a Honda Civic. It's a 1.6 diesel version, but what's nice even about this one is it's a 9-speed automatic version, so it's a really nice car to drive, and it's also what's called a Smart Plus specification in terms of the features that are on the car. Hey everybody, Brian is my name. If there's any information you want on this car, please do call, text, WhatsApp, whatever suits, 086 843 1945. This car is a Honda Civic, obviously, but it's a nice, it's a 9-speed automatic. And what I like about the 9 speeds is they really access the power in this engine really well, better actually than the manual. This is a real comfortable kind of cruiser car, and as I always say about these diesel automatics, they don't make these diesel automatics anymore in Honda. This is the last chance really to buy before we all go into whatever we're going to go into, I don't even know. A nice, comfortable cruiser, but there's good out response. I really enjoy driving this car much more than the manual. I love the manual gearbox, but it just uses the power better, and especially with the paddles and stuff like that on the steering wheel, so you can have good, fun and aggressive driving, but it's still a big cruiser when you're on the motorway as well because it's automatic. Anyway, what we'll do is we'll go for, actually no, it's getting dark. I'm going to show you the outside of the car, and then I'm going to show you the inside. I'm going to tell you a lie. I'm going to show you the inside, then I'm going to show you the outside, and then we'll go for a drive just as it gets dark. That's all. Okay. Starting off with some of the practical features. The boot, that's I think one of the best practical features on this car, because it's absolutely massive compared to other cars in the segment. And normally, actually, I forgot to put it back in the car for the video, there's a little tray that goes across here to cover that area over. And even when you let the back seats down, it's really, really massive. Really, really useful. Anyway, in terms of the rear of the car, there's nice nylon along here, electric through windows, speakers and tweeters in each door, and nice brushed down aluminium up along through here as well. Looking in the back of the car, there is 3 head restraints across the back of the car, and there's also 3 3-point safety belts along through there as well, and there's decent ISOFIX, which is easy to access on both sides, and a nice armrest with drinks holders in through the middle. For anyone that's curious about size of the back of these cars, I'm 6 foot. And sorry, I'm trying to block out the sun for you. I'm 6 foot, and this is the headroom I have, which is decent, and this is the legroom that I have, which is good as well. We actually own one of these cars. It's a 1 litre petrol, but the exact same in the rear. And I also said in videos, the boot is massive. We have a child seat, obviously, not a child seat, a buggy that goes in the back, takes up a load of space. But out of all the cars we looked at, even because I was totally biased, this actually was the best, most accessible boot out of all these 5-door hatchback cars that we could see in the market anyway. And I'll be dead straight, I am totally biased, but it actually was. After that then, in terms of space in the back and just looking around, the windows are quite good actually because they're tinted and it looks cool on the outside, but I really noticed actually after you have a child you start to notice these things. It actually does make a difference to stop the sun coming in on top of their eyes. And things like the roof line over here, it's all black, so it looks nice and sporty on the inside as well. Moving up to the front of the car then, electrics for windows and mirrors, more brushed aluminium, and again speakers and tweeters up through here as well. There's a really good sound system in these Hondas. Nice aluminium pedals down low along through here. The seat then has lumbar support for lower back. It's got a height adjuster and a rake adjuster along here, and then the steering wheel goes in and out as well as up and down, so full rake reach on it as well. They are a really, really cool looking car, these. I like them because they're striking and they're like nothing else out there. And I really find when you drive behind one of these at night time with the big LED lamps, they're really cool, they're really unusual. So you see this little side marker up here on the right hand side, I quite like those. Well, actually on the right and the left, and those nice LEDs. It's like nothing else on the road, really distinctive, and it looks cool. I like things like the spoilers along the rear, but they're actually functional because they channel air off the rear of the car in the most aerodynamic way possible. The wheels are a nice diamond cut finish. I will admit these ones have some damage on them. They're really wide and they look cool, but they are prone to curbing. But the good news is I'm going to put some brand spanking new ones on it, so they'll be really cool whenever you pick up the car if you're buying it. The lights can be controlled from the key to have them come on or come off whenever you lock and unlock the car, and similarly then that key can also use things like the windows to let them down and also bring them back up, as well as retracting your wing mirrors as well. Anyway, let's go for a spin in the car. So down here, this is your gearbox, drive, sport. You see you can actually basically go from a drive mode into a sport mode. It's just going to give you more aggressive gear changes. Neutral, which is pretty much useless in an automatic car. Reverse, which brings up this big parking camera. And then down through here, park is park. But the thing about it is with a car like this, when you finish your journey anyway and you turn it off, it also goes straight into park anyway. And over through here then, that's an automatic park brake. Has a brake hold to stop you rolling backwards, but on an automatic car it's kind of useless anyway because the car really doesn't want to roll backwards. Auto stop start traffic lights and just an econ function to reduce how aggressive gear changes, and cruise control and air conditioning is. Better look around the dash when we're driving, but over through here, these are controls for things like there's a lane keep assist program, and there's also a function for cruise control, and you can say how far you want to stay behind the car in front. And it's got a low speed follow. If you drove behind a car and you're going to Dublin or something like that, it would lock onto the car behind them. If they come up to a traffic light eventually, and as long as they haven't deviated left or right, it'll actually lock onto the back of them. If they stop totally, you will stop totally without touching the brake. So that's what I mean by low speed follow. You got a speed limiter as well, and even things like the speed limiter can be used in conjunction with the speed sign recognition system, so it'll actually respect and slow you down, respect speed signs when it sees them, parking sensors front and rear. And it's giving you two screens, so you can tell over here and over here that you've got a problem in front of you. Also right here out through the windscreen, which is probably the place you should be looking in the first place. And also the ones for going backwards then into this micro, well not into it, but quite close to it. So it's telling you got a problem here and here. And you got the noise too as well. Over through here then controls for audio and Bluetooth and an iMid function, which is changing information like average speed and fuel efficiency and maintenance information all in through there. Other buttons down through here, we already saw there's a lane key program. This is just something that actually warns you if you drift out of your lane, if you don't want too much intervention but you still want some help. Wipers will be completely automated, lights will be completely automated, daytime, nighttime, and they dip when they meet traffic by themselves. Up through the gears, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I mean, you don't have to use them, but I use them every now and then because I like changing gears and it's more engaging, it's a bit of fun and it's enjoyable kind of and it changes gear fast as well when it's going up and down through gears. It changes quick, so it's quite enjoyable. It's more for driving pleasure than it is actually practical. I think it's fair to say the car is well equipped from what you see so far, and overall it's going to be a nice economical car to run, and it's easy on road tax and fuel, but it actually drives really well. So in terms of driving these cars, they cruise along the road. They're quite wide on the road. There's a lot of space in through here, like we saw already, the gearbox with our drive and sport functions. Most people are just going to go for drive. Very few people ever use the sport function, but it's nice to know it's there, and unfortunately if you're an idiot like me, you will use it reasonably regularly. But like I was saying to you, the car cruises well. I like driving these. Like I was saying to you, it's not a Golf, it's not a Focus, it's not an Astra, it's just something different. Put into a petrol station, people look at these twice. There's something a little bit unusual about them, and I think that's what's nice. Nice to be different. I always just like Civics. I always did. I had them years ago. I've always had them over the years. I just like them. They are something, like we're saying, something a little bit different, but they drive really good. When you're on a back road, as we're going to hit in a while, independent rear suspension all around, they sit on the road well, nice wide stance. It's a really reassuring car to drive. It makes you feel safe. Over through here, there's things in through the centre like navigation, and that can be Garmin or it can also be Google Maps if you want, depending what kind of phone you have. And after that then lots of music options, things like USB and streaming, and also then Apple CarPlay and Android Auto if you want as well. And like what we talked about, it sits on the back road well. It is a wide car, it is a long car, and it's actually quite a low car. So I suppose they are the kind of ingredients you get if you want something that's just a little bit more sporty to drive than a normal car. You definitely feel like you're in something a bit different in a Civic. In terms of how the gearbox reacts and in terms of how acceleration is, what we're going to do is we're going to stop and just get onto a road where the speed limit is 100 kilometers an hour, and we'll start from there, from 0 up as far as 100 kilometers an hour, just to show you how it behaves, how quickly it gets up through those gears and uses the power in that 1.6 diesel engine. I will admit I love the 1.5 turbo to drive because it's 180 horsepower, but after that, this is my most favourite Civic out of all of them. 9-speed automatic diesel, uses the power well, it's exciting to drive, and as you can see, it actually feels like a much quicker car, the way the gears change so quickly than its manual counterpart. Anyway, that is our 2018 Honda Civic 9-speed automatic Smart Plus. If you want information on this car, please do not hesitate to give me a shout. 086 843 1945. Brian is my name. So call, text, WhatsApp if you want information on the car, if you want information on trading in a car, if you want information on scrapping a car, information on finance, anything at all, call, text, WhatsApp and I'll do my best to help. This is a one owner from new car with a full service history, and actually one little sneaky thing on this car, it actually has a spare wheel which they don't normally come with, but the previous owner specified it when he was buying the car, so it's a nice little bonus. Anyway, hopefully the video has been useful, hopefully the car is of interest, and thank you for taking time to watch.